so you can know a gang. Exactly. Buddy.
Greetings. Morning, ones and ones. Morning. Greetings. Blessings. Morning. Cheryl Brown, good morning. Caroline, morning. Yeah, morning. Tell our friends that we're on live in the morning, you know? Yeah, it's cold, so we'll hold it. Morning, Cheryl, how you doing? Maxine, good morning. Crime in Jamaica, the police force, security forces, murder rate, zones of special operations, state of emergencies, all these things. Let's talk. Yeah. Morning. Yeah, man. So you're a bunch of people out there weighing on the whole crime situation in Jamaica. And I just thought I'd put my little 2 cents out there and have a little brief chit chat about it. Eh? Because some of us can be so hypocritical where crime and murder in Jamaica is concerned. It's not funny. Lex Morgan, blessings. Welcome. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So everybody has an opinion where this thing is concerned. And some of us can be so hypocritical. Everybody who know me on social media knows when it comes to the police force, I'm extremely critical and believe that the police force is corrupt beyond repair. So let me put that out there front and center. And then we can look at the argument deeper. Right? Clement, morning. So everybody know that's my position. And that position I maintain for years now because I believe that you cannot pour clean wine in a dirty vessel. That has always been my position on the issue of the police force in particular. But like I said in my recent post, beat a man and give him his dues. You can't beat a man, excuse me, and you not give him due respect. Within the last 2-3 years, or let's just go right back since 2016, because when Minister Bobby Montague took office as the Minister of National Security, they inherited a murder rate of some 1,600 under Dr. Peter Phillips, right? So between Dr. Peter Phillips and what's his name? KD Knight, they would have contributed to the highest murder rate in this country and the least amount of support, government support, to the police force. No. Remember, me not agree, me not believe so you can pour clean wine in a dirty vessel. Remember that, But me could put the thing in context. The police force would have enjoyed, in my estimation, the greatest support ever given to the police force in the history, ever since it has been conceptualized and put together. $40 billion and counting in terms of investment. Now, one might want to measure Dr. Horace Strong and the current commissioner. One might want to measure their comments. And I saw my good friend, there make an attempt yesterday to suggest that the tenure of the commissioner should be in question. And I found that to be a load of nonsense. Because, and why I said that? Hold on one second. I found that to be a load of nonsense because there's no way you could question. There's no way you could question Dr. Chang and the current commissioner's tenure when you really and honestly dissect the numbers and look at. Remember now, fighting crime is not just how much criminal you go out to go kill, Because that was the issue that we had over the years. The PNP have always measured crime fighting based on the amount of man where the security force kill. And what we must remember is that under the PNP, Jamaica became the country that has the highest extrajudicial killing in the world, where police kill over 400 and odd per year. And what that did for Jamaica, that placed us in a position where we couldn't even get ammunition to buy for the security forces. We were banned and branded as the country with the highest level of extrajudicial killing in the world. And that left a stain on us for years. And you don't find nobody come out and say these things. And come and them talk. But people are just being political in their commentary. Dr. Chang and the commissioner would have attract more investment in the police force than any other combination of a security minister and a commissioner in the history of the police force. Right? Robert Montague, the former commissioner, the former security minister, would not have attract the amount of investment, even though some of the plans that have been executed started under Bobby Montague. And we have to give credit where credit is due again. Right? But this present combination have attracted unprecedented amount in terms of investment in the security forces. And you can't beat that. Record amount of cars. Secure borders. Right? The intelligence gathering capability of the police has improved significantly. Remember, say me not believing in them, But me I tell you what me observe. Me not believe in them. But me have to beat a man and give him him due, they would have attracted so much investment. It is unbelievable. Now, make we look on the thing in a different light now. Yeah? So, crime prevention. A lot of people out there run off and attack and run off them beak and carry on. And I asked a question to several persons who are having this discussion. What could the security forces do to prevent what took place in Trelawney? And again, I will ask, what could Dr. Horace Chang and the current Commissioner of Police do to prevent what took place in Trelawney? One must take the murder rate and dissect it, break it down into small pieces so you can have a better understanding of what is happening where crime is concerned. You should look at the numbers. What percentage of the murders? And I think the security forces need to publish this, break down the numbers, analyze the figures, and break it down and publish it so people can know. Because I believe a significant amount of the crime committed and the murders committed in Jamaica over the last year or two are domestic. They're not organized crime. Because what has been happening is that the organized criminals are being caught. Based on the investigative capability of the police, they have improved significantly in terms of following through with Jamaica Eye and all the different, equipment that they would have in their arsenal now to fight. They have improved. If you look at the response time, the time in which it takes a police to come to the scene of a crime and to actually make an arrest. I believe in something that you will see here in the United States, where they talk about the first 48. And it's a belief in security forces in the US that if you cannot basically solve the crime within the first 48 hours, you're losing. You actually would lose that case. Because the most critical evidence come within the first 48 hours. And we see where in Jamaica, a lot of the murders that are being committed now, people are being taken into custody within the first 48. So it means that the police intelligence mechanism would have been up and running. And in most cases, some of the crimes that are being committed, you can't do nothing until after the crime is done. Because you can't stop it. You tell me how on God's green earth you would have stopped what happened in Trelawney. How? How? Are you going to put a police at each church door? Better yet, are you going to put a police officer at everybody's house to sit there and try to figure out the type of conflict they're having internally and who is plotting to kill who and all that stuff so that they can prevent it from happening? Sometimes we have to be realistic, and we have to be honest in our views. So we beat a man and we must give him what is due unto Caesar, we must give to Caesar. Because there's no way we can come out there. Hi, John. There's no way we can come out there and tell people, say, watch you now. The police force is responsible. And I mean, me see people who are responsible enough to do better. The minute this murder took place in Trelawney in the church, people come out and question. People come out and question the commissioner's tenure. As if to suggest that it's the inept ability of the commissioner and the security minister that could cause such a murder. And I think that was really disingenuous. And me talk about my good friend from Upper Trelawney, Dennis Meadows. Me ask Dennis the question, and Dennis him still maintain his position. Me ask him to deal specifically with the murder that took place in Trelawney. As a matter of fact, let's deal with the last two murders that took place in Trelawney. There's one prior to this, where it is being alleged that a mother and a daughter organize to kill another sister. Tell me how the commissioner of police and the security minister could prevent that one. There's no way you can prevent that. There's absolutely no way you can prevent that. And it is unfair to put the blame squarely at the feet of the security forces, knowing what we know. And I am very disappointed in that position taken by Dennis. And I don't know. I can't force him to withdraw position. But one thing I'll say, is that you must justify your argument and justify it clearly. I see a lot of people were trying to attack Dennis, and you don't need no attack. We can have the discussion and we can have the debate in a respectful way without being, disrespectful to anybody or to get into anybody's personal affair and all that good stuff. It's not necessary. We should try to conduct the discussion in a better way. But I'm saying it's unfair. It's unfair to think that a police force could prevent these murders. There are some gang murders. There are some gang murders that you can't stop either, because you can only respond to them. Now, what I believe is going to be the tiebreaker or the deterrent is the fact that the police is now in a better position to respond to these murders in record time, and the intelligence gathering capability seem to have improved somewhat, and as a result, they are able to prosecute these persons quick. The other aspect of it we have to look at is how quickly we can get them before a court and to administer justice. Because all of this is part of how you fight crime, especially in Jamaica, where crime has been left alone for decades. The police, the PNP during their tenure, they never put anything into the police force. The police force, remember, police stations were rat infested and roach infested, And it is under Dr. Cham that they have now invest significantly in the infrastructure to include housing facilities and accommodation for police officers. So we have to give a man, we have to beat a man and give him news. It is unfair to come out there and talk about how terrible the police force is and the security forces in general. Gladstone, big up yourself. Good to see you. And Claudette, morning. Anne-Marie, morning to you. Carol, morning. Right? So we could beat a man and give him news, man. This is nonsense to believe that the security forces could prevent some of these murders that are being committed. So I would encourage the police force to put out the statistics, the murder stats for 2020. Break it down so people can understand what percentage of the murder rate was organized crime, what percentage was connected to lottery scamming, and importantly, what percentage of the murder rate was domestic, internal, unresolved family issues and disputes. Because if a significant part of it, is domestic affairs and personal vendetta and all that good stuff, it is difficult. It is difficult when our police are going to stop a man from pop out him ratchet and push him ratchet in a man and cut him, stab him to death. How police are going to stop a man who is of unsound mind or going through some form of stress and decide to chop up his family member and kill them? How police are going to stop that? How police are going to stop a man who They on a corner and him and him brethren have a conflict and them can't resolve it and them decide say, yo, I'm gonna dig up my gun and come shoot you. How the police stop that? The most the police can do is after such event is to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. In some instances, they really can't stop it. And what we have seen now is an increase in that type of murder. Where I will fault the police is in the case where a killing occurred, a murder has occurred, and based on intelligence, the police would and should have known that that person being murdered is going to trigger a certain level of reprisal. Now, that is where I will lay the blame squarely at the feet of the police. Because if they would act in that regard and ensure that when that particular person is murdered, they prevent the reprisal, because the reprisal is what is pushing the murder rate out of control. You know? Once that first murder occurs, the police should have enough intelligence to know that this is going to trigger some level of reprisal. And as such, you should go out there and lock down that particular area and quell it and stop the, prevent the reprisals. We saw in the case of Norwood and these places in St. James that never happened, because common sense would have dictated, and we see where that is happening in some places downtown as well, where you're not getting that level of response as it relates to the individual one pop shooting, when one guy is being murdered, and we know from earth to heaven that that guy being murdered is going to attract some level of reprisal, right? So I'm saying that the security forces, I would fault them where that is concerned. I believe that they can improve on that, where they can prevent these reprisals and do a lot more to prevent them. But not in all cases. They can't stop all the murders and they can't stop all the shootings. Gladson, much respect for your comment. Yeah. Gladson is saying that we can't blame the government and the police for things we are doing. Yeah. And there's some level of cover up too, because some of these people within the community, they know these criminals. They know these guys. They know that these guys are no good. And this argument about being fearful, we shouldn't buy it anymore, because there's no reason for persons to be fearful in Jamaica. There's so many different ways of passing information on to the security forces. Several different ways of passing information, and nobody is using it. People are instead talking about excuses, creating excuse, and and all that good stuff. So yeah, so part of my I'm not in a ranting mood this morning, but I just wanted to sort of set the record straight where that is concerned. I think my good friend Dennis was being a little bit unreasonable in his position as it relates to him questioning the tenure of the security minister and the commissioner of police. I don't think he was questioning the tenure of the security minister, but the truth is, when you look at the synergy between both and how they have attracted a lot of investment into the security forces, why would you want to break something like that? You see, the result, the positive result of crime, of fighting crime in Jamaica, is going to come over time. It's not going to come right now, right then. Because there are so many moving pieces. There are so many issues that you have to deal with. You know, there are so many issues that you have to deal with. And you can't expect that when you invest this amount of money in excess of $40 billion in a security force, you're going to get the result overnight. I personally believe in my heart of heart that it is almost impossible to get the desired result with the same breed of cops. I asked Dennis Meadows yesterday, I said, if you're asking for the commissioner tenure to be questioned, then why are you not questioning every single DSP and SSP that support him? Commissioner don't make decision on his own. Why would you say I'm in denial, Taz? Why am I being in? How do you put an argument that I'm being in denial? I'm presenting to you facts. Isn't it a fact that the combination of Dr. Horace Chang and the current Commissioner of Police, isn't it a fact that they would have attracted the highest amount of investment in the police force in the history of the force? Isn't that factual? Huh? Let me hear from you, Taz. Isn't that a fact that the investment attracted by Dr. Chang? Blessings to you, Trevor. How you do? So if you go, yeah, man, early morning med strip. So Trevor, I'm gonna talk about this whole security force issue here, where a lot of people, you know, is and the crime situation in Jamaica is at a level where it's cause of concern. But I'm just simply saying, Trevor, to persons out there that we have to contextualize the thing and break it down so we can have a better understanding of it. Because the question I'm asking is, if the security forces, if the commissioner, if the Minister of National Security could have done anything at all in their powers to prevent what happened in Trelawney. And that is the question. Could they have done anything to prevent what happened in Trelawney? And I can't seem to get anybody to give me any reason or any argument to support that position that, yeah, they could have done something to stop it. Tell me. And Trevor, you understand the thing from a technological standpoint. And you would agree that the response to crime, the police responding to crime recently. Shanti Johnson, thank you. The answer is clearly no. There's nothing they could have done. But would you not give credit also to the very same police force in apprehending suspects in record time too? Because within 24 hours, they had, I think by the following morning or the same day, they had about 5 persons in custody. And by the following day, the person who they believe pulled the trigger is also in custody. You have to give credit where that is concerned. Remember, you know, what could have happened and what used to be the norm was that it wasn't intelligence driven. And even if they were intelligence, they would have just gone out there and shoot some people, shoot out, and the man dead, and you claim to be a crime solved, and you don't have nobody in front of court to find out and to get to the meat of the matter. You understand? So I have to give credit where credit is due. Well, Trev, you're saying some of these crimes being committed have nothing to do with police and the state, which is right, has nothing to do with it. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Well, I'm singling out that incident, Taz, because that particular incident gave a knee-jerk reaction to a lot of people. My good friend Dennis Meadows never came out and questioned the commissioner of police tenure when you had several murders up in Norwood or gang warfare and all that good stuff, which probably at the time could have been justified. But he came out on a particular murder that the security minister and the commissioner basically, honestly, had no control over. So you're asking me, why am I singling out that particular event? Because it is that event that is used to draw the commissioner tenure into question. So it is on that basis why I single out that event. Because that is what brought us to the conversation yesterday. Yes. Yes, Shanti, welcome. Tony Beckford, welcome as well. Caden Richards, good to see you. Morning, morning. Alex Gale, morning. And Kenroy Thomas, morning to you. Blessings and thank you for joining us. Desmond Smith, pick up yourself. Good to see you. Morning. Elaine Powell, morning to you as well. Well, so that is what trigger. Yeah. So Trevor, you're saying some of these crimes have nothing to do with the crime plan. But Trevor, let's go back to it again. And Taz, Nadia morning. Taz has been somebody who comment on some of the posts I've made in recent times and basically challenging my position on the issue. Now, and she's one of the folks who will ask, where is the crime plan? But I keep asking this. I've been asking this for years now. What really is a crime plan? Because what people are accustomed to, and I think a lot of people on the political divide, what they're accustomed to as a crime plan is when a squad or a group of police officers are put together. You put together a group and you give them a name, some short acronym, and then you put a senior superintendent in charge and you give them some guns and some vehicle and you send them out to go out there and kill. That is what Jamaica has grown to accept as a crime plan. Now, the Jamaica Labour Party did not come and implement any such plan that was expected. And because of that, people are asking, where is the plan? Because the only thing we are accustomed to as a crime plan, is a squad. That is what we're accustomed to over the years. Yeah, Trevor. Unfortunately, the government and National Security Minister has done a poor job of making the public aware of its plan. No, I don't think so. There are several occasions where the government, the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, and everybody would have said to Jamaica that a crime plan, would have outlined a comprehensive crime plan to include, but not limited to, the development of the country, developing the country's infrastructure, right? Creating jobs and putting lowering our debt to GDP and putting us in a better position to have the country employment rate go down, unemployment rate go down, and getting people an opportunity to have a job, to create a better environment for businesses to thrive. All of that is part of a crime plan, When you start to improve the social conditions, look at Zozo. We've never had anything like Zozo before. Every single study in Jamaica have always asked for some form of social intervention. Always. They've always asked for social intervention. And what Zozo has done is to bring social intervention into crime fighting. You can't ask for nothing better than that. How many communities have been transformed? using Zozo. The type of money that has been spent, and Dr. Chang said perfectly, right? 60%, 60% of the money that is earmarked for these inner city communities is going into the top level of it, and it is not trickling down to the common guy in the street. It's not having the impact that it's supposed to have because of the top and because of how much of it has to do with, and that's why perhaps some of the external forces who are coming into the communities to participate in the development, probably Dr. Chang and others need to start look at it and see how best they can involve the people from the community in the development. Because the truth is, yeah, man, yes, Trevor, if you can find the link to the plan and post it, that would be great. Because you see, some of these people, Lavardo Cummings is saying that the government doesn't have a workable crime plan. Well, Lavardo, they could put what you just said now in context. 2 years ago, the murder rate spiraled out of control, especially in St. James. The government implemented a limited state of emergency along with Zozo. The first Zozo was implemented in Mount Salem in St. James. How many murders have we had in Mount Salem since then? And if you remember, prior to Zozo, Mount Salem was a hotbed for murders. After the government implemented the state of emergency and the Zozo in St. James, what was the result following that implementation? We've had 133 less murders in St. James in 1 year. 78% reduction in murders in St. James overall. You think anybody in Jamaica could go tell the people who live in these areas that Zozo and state of emergency don't work? We can sit and we hire horses in wherever we are all over the world and talk, you know. But bring the argument to the people on the ground who've been affected or who have been affected by crime and have seen the result. Go tell them that. Every single area that the Zozo and state of emergency has been implemented, there have been significant reduction in murders and crime. Every area. Clarendon, Spanish Town, downtown Kingston, everywhere. Now, what we must be fair about is, why are we having this discussion if that sort of positive result was being garnered? We're having this discussion now because to implement a state of emergency, it requires support from the opposition. Now, after a 25% reduction in murder, which we have not seen in decades in Jamaica, after a 25% reduction in murder and 77% reduction only in no, not only, just in Montego Bay, looking at Montego Bay statistics alone, 70-something% reduction in murder. Why would an opposition party not support such an initiative? Because there is no other initiative in this country that would have achieved that reduction in murder. Remember, Montego Bay, people were dying 3 per day, 4. And when the Zozo and the state of emergency was implemented, it reduced the murder in the area by 133, I believe, less murder in 1 year. 130 odd persons didn't get killed because of Zozo and SOE. Then why would you not support something like that? That's the question we should ask. We should ask the question why the PNP did not support the initiative when that initiative had criminals on the back foot. The only thing that ever worked in this country is state of emergency, nothing else. In 2010, when you call a man, we implemented a state of emergency in 2010, and not even a fee was blown. Place was quiet, there was no murder. Right? So I could put it in context and I could put the blame squarely where it's at. Now, when the PNP did not support that state of emergency and allow the murder rate to spiral back out of control, they have to take responsibility for it. They have to take responsibility for it. When they did not support the state of emergency, the government and the security forces had no choice but to release some of these very same persons who are now popping up on the police radar and are appearing in several murders all over Jamaica. It's the same persons that the state of emergency would have had under lockdown. Now, you tell me how you justify that. Keisha Mack is saying that the Zozo set the platform for the implementation of social offerings and provide intelligence for the police. It does. It does. One of the things that have been coming out of several studies of Jamaica's crime situation over the years has been social intervention has always been the top of the list. Everybody's always saying that we need to have social intervention. We have to intervene. We have to intervene in these people, in these communities. And I remember in 2010, when the Tivoli incursion, all the private companies and private sector groups came out and said they were all in support because they believe that we have to transform Tivoli. We are going to bring the University of the West Indies an outlet down there. We're going to bring Heart down there. We're going to bring all the different training institutions down there. The private sector said we are going to start hiring people from these communities and not marginalize them based on their address, which was the norm in Kingston. This was an agreed position, because the truth of the matter is the people in these communities were not highly skilled people, even though we've had so many good people coming out of these areas. But you were marginalized based on your address. To fight crime isn't to play with the society and backslackness. I don't know what that means. Well, Desmond Donaldson said he don't think that the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner is doing a good job. Can't fight on your position. So the PNP are happy when crime is rampant because that's their only talking point. I can agree with you on that, Kenroy Thomas. The persons who are commenting about a crime plan, can they please post what is a crime plan and their crime plan, please? Yes, I agree with you. Because I've been asking that question for a long while too. What is really a crime plan? I don't know. If you have a plan to fight crime, why would you make it public though? All right, let me go back to that level. So, if there is such a thing as a crime plan, a plan how to fix the crime ill of this country, why should that plan be something public? That's another thing we can probably look at, right? But like I said, the Prime Minister on several occasions last year would have pointed to what the real crime plan is. And the real crime plan is to basically get the country in a position where people are employed and are productive, to get the productive wheels of the country up and running. Taz, Desmond, I don't know what to say to you. I can't fight you on your position, because if you believe that they're not doing a good job, then You must have a measurement. You must have something that you measure their performance against. So what I'd ask for Desmond Donaldson to do is to point me to what is the measurement that you're using to judge these people on the crime plan. The fact is that the plan is public. The operational details are not. And I agree with you on that, to Trevor. But we already know what the plan is, isn't it? The plan is public. The plan is always out there, right? The government economic strategies are part of the country's crime plan, you know. But what I think people are looking for is to tell you how they're going to do it. Okay, so we are going to have cordon and searches. We are going to have curfews. We are going to raid X house next week. And that's not how crime fighting works. Crime fighting is more intelligence driven, and that's where the police is going. I'm hoping to God that they prove me wrong and get it right. Um, People can Google 5-pillar strategy for crime prevention and citizen security. So here is Trevor providing us with a link that we can look at and get a better understanding of what the crime plan is. Right, folks? So to the persons who are asking about crime plan, Trevor is pointing us to the following. 5-pillar strategy for crime prevention and citizen security. Just Google that and we can post a link in the conversation so persons can have a look at it and peruse it and decide. Because we've heard this time and time again that, oh, the government have the crime plan. Oh, we need a crime plan. Oh, we need a crime plan. And I keep saying to you, what is a crime plan? It's 200 pages, a PDF document, 200 pages. Right? So there is something out there. I don't know what they're looking for in a crime plan, Taz and Donaldson. What is it that you want in a crime plan? What is it that you're looking for? Because like Mr. Forrester is pointing out, there is a document which is 200 pages, a PDF document. It is on Google if you want to find it. And it is always on the JLP website. It's I'm quite certain. It is on the chopping block page as well. It is there. So if you go there, you'll find these things. But people are not interested in finding information. What a lot of these folks are interested in is to just come out and broadside, the commissioner and the national security minister. Not because of their performance per se. A lot of it is just politically driven. They are driven by their political belief. And because of that, most of the comments are not not honest and fair comments. Nobody reads these documents. Instead, they follow what the crowd is saying. You're right. You're right. Nobody's taking time out to read, and Jamaica has gone past that whole follow the leader kind of thing. Information is available. Go there and read. Go there and read information and come to your own conclusion. Don't follow people. Right? Look at the 5-pillar. Morning, Beverly Clark. How you doing? Welcome. Pat, good morning to you as well. Yeah, but go there and read the thing and try to find the draw your own conclusion. Draw your own conclusion, not sit there and just listen to what the crowd is saying. And yeah, because national security is not a one-sided affair. Everybody have a part to play and everybody have a responsibility. So to sit there and to talk about crime plan, I'm gonna keep asking you. I'm asking you guys for a long time now. How many times have we had crime plans in Jamaica, and how many of it we've seen work? Crime plan don't work in the context and in the sense that you are viewing it. I don't know if any crime plan out there that work the way you guys are promoting it. The commissioner, so Taz is saying that the commissioner has failed miserably. Okay. I am not one supporter of the government. And Taz is saying that she's not one supporter of the government that has turned a blind eye to what is happening. And I'm not knocking your position on the issue. What I'm simply saying to you, Taz, is that if you're going to take such a position, you must justify it with facts. Justify your position on the issue with facts. If you are saying that the commissioner performed poorly, let's put that in context. Let's measure this commissioner with the last 3 or 4 commissioners that we have had. And let us look at the result. In that way, your argument will be fair. Let's do that. If you can't do that, then you really and truly, you're not being honest. Right? You're not being honest. Donaldson is saying that majority of the murders in Jamaica are gang violence and should be easy for the commissioner and the minister to solve. There you go again. He's saying most of the murders in Jamaica are gang related, basically. And that makes it easy for the commissioner and the minister to solve. That's what Desmond is saying, Desmond Donaldson. Desmond, I don't know if I share that view, but I respect your opinion on the issue, but I don't know if I share that view. Gregory, morning, welcome. Gregory is saying that the crime plan that the PNP want is just what the meaning of the word itself put together. Yeah, Don Mellis, good to see you. Sheldon Brown, welcome. Angela McKay, good to see you. Yeah, so you Donaldson have to justify his position on the argument. You can't just come out and make a blanket statement. You're saying that they're not performing, and you're saying that the commissioner is the worst performing commissioner. And I'm saying to you, justify that position. Justify that position. Let's compare the present commissioner to the last 3 commissioners of police. Let's look at Quayle. What was Quayle's result? You see, you can't use crime statistics as it relates to how much murders are being committed to judge crime. You have to also look at the amount of investment that have been attracted to the security forces. How much investment they make. Right? People invest. The amount of investment will come in the security forces now. We never see that in the history. Oh, we never see that in the history of Jamaica. Never seen it. More money invested in a security forces now than ever. Than ever. And if you put all that 3 commissioners them together, Quayle and whomever was before Quayle, and look at what they have achieved, it's still not going to match up to Anderson. It's still not going to match up to Anderson. You know? I think what people expect is that the commissioner are going to put somebody at your house to hear your conversation and prevent you from plotting to kill your own family member. And that me think people are look to. Because it can't be nothing else. It must be something like that. They must expect say, the commissioner go put somebody at your yard and watch your every move
and then prevent you from plotting to kill your own family member. And on that basis, now you judge them. Can't support that. But anyhow, not going to spend our morning on this. We can keep the conversation going. We can keep the conversation going after this, but that is my 2 cents on the issue. Big up on yourself. Enough love.